don't know either. I don't know why you wear boots in the summer.
Because they're cute.
How's that?
Yeah.
Wait, let me.
Is this happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's live.
Yeah. I think we're.
Why do we look always strange on what
YouTube?
Yeah. It's kind of like a weird, but then it doesn't look like it after. Like when it goes up.
I think it looks good.
I think we look good.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Oh, can I turn your TikTok so? Wait. Hold on. Oh shoot. The TikTok looks really good.
Yeah.
How's that?
Our lighting.
I'll just scoot closer to you. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, we look so cute. Look at us.
Katie, you're in here.
Yeah.
Katie probably doesn't want to get any closer because
I don't want to melt anyone.
Oh.
Like
oh my gosh.
I radiate so much heat off of my body that we were at the Phillies game during the last heat wave, and my husband was like, he actually had to get up and leave because I was radiating so much heat. It was making him feel more.
You are incredible. Well, you're also having Jupiter sitting on your all over
sign
yourself.
And my Mercury
Yeah.
and my
it's like the
and my midheaven
the
and
strength
my
of a billion suns is radiating off you
Yes.
even more than usual.
yeah. I feel it.
Mhm.
It's no big deal.
It's incredible.
big deal.
No big deal. NBD.
You know. No big
So
deal.
should I call in our support,
Yes.
you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and those of you watching, if you'd like, you may join us if you want to take 3 big breaths, a big full inhale and an exhale and another in breath and an out breath and one more big full inhale and an outhale. And I call in the highest, purest iterations of all of our spirit teams, our archangels, our ascended masters, and our most well-healed ancestors into this space right now. Phew, here they all are. And it feels really crowded today. I give thanks to them all that every single being who is with us right now live and who's watching this in the future, that we are all living right now the highest, purest iterations of our most abundant, and that includes financially in the realms of health, wealth, happiness, love, and relationships, our most abundant, most divine, and most benevolent timelines. I give thanks that we are all infinitely, divinely led and divinely protected. And so it is. Aho, Asi, Amen. Yes. I'm going to point out that I wonder how it will feel because Katie is usually on the left and you're on the right today. So I'm wondering how that's going to feel.
Oh.
Because you
That's
always have
interesting.
said, you're like, I like being on the left. It
Yeah.
always feels good to me.
Well, maybe
But you went there.
maybe Jupiter is
You're having it being changed up.
being
Changed up.
restructured. Technically, I'm still in the same space though.
It's true. It's true.
Oh.
It's true. It's true.
Because we're on the other side.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk. Hi, Gina Bridgman.
Where's Gina?
Hi, she's on
Gina.
Instagram. Gina. The astrology right now. Is it all right if I go into that a bit?
Yeah, please.
There are many astrologers. I know it might sound like I've been saying this for a long time. And I do. We are having pivotal moment astrologically after pivotal moment. One after the next, after the next, after the next. And now this week in July, these last few weeks of July are the apex for a while. And this is a moment that there's going to be, it's happening. We're in it. There's a tipping point where either people will discover that the way they've been heading or the way they've been living their lives is moving towards a dead end. And then, wait, you started laughing. Wait. And so, and
We both kind of snickered. We were like,
so moving towards a dead end. And then either there's a pivot and I'm like, okay, wow, it can be some sort of really big, strong, wow, I'm making a big decision right now. Or everything disintegrates, which is part of the rebirth process. And I want to honor that being in the liminal space between when everything is really like the systems and structures that we have had in place. It's becoming more.
That's
It's
Carmella.
cool.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
not
becoming
the
more
door.
and more evident that that it's not sustainable. Everything and so there's an invitation right now. What's happening as the next few weeks proceed is there's going to be if you have any planets in your chart at about 4 degrees of any sign, and if you don't know, then you could come and sit with me as a client or join my container. I have an ongoing container called Permission Granted. We look at your chart. If you don't know, if you have any planets at 4 degrees, I know Katie
literally
does.
have 4
Katie
degrees.
has her, is it all right if I say?
Yeah,
Her
please.
rising sign is at 4 degrees of Scorpio. And
Yep.
so what is happening for everybody out there that has planets around 4 degrees? So it could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're all getting incredibly activated during this part of July because even today, we have Venus at 4 degrees of Virgo. We have Jupiter is moving towards, this is Jupiter moving towards 4 degrees of Leo. Jupiter is going to be opposing Pluto. Jupiter and Pluto have an opposition once every 13 years. So this is
this the 13th year?
Yeah.
Of course it
Yes.
is.
Yes, it is. And it's a really big deal. And and that in and of itself is not the biggest deal that Jupiter and Pluto are having an opposition. But what is a big deal is it's happening while all these other planets are also at 4 degrees. So we have Pluto at 4 degrees, Venus at 4 degrees. She might shift a bit. Jupiter at 4 degrees. We're going to have Uranus is at 4 degrees. Neptune is at 4 degrees. All of this happening. And then we're having this incredible there's going to be a full moon coming along as well as a new moon, and we have Mercury retrograde, so it also can feel like you have no idea what is going on, and you can't, and it can be really challenging to distinguish the dream world from the real. And I think that the delineation between the two is actually dissolving. Like my imagination with this kind of astrology is I am inviting myself. Hi, Sophia. I'm inviting myself to lean into what can I imagine? What, because also our collectively telepathically we're becoming more and more potent. I find myself more incredibly open to spirit in a way that I have never felt in my life. And I come from a family that mocks the idea of God and still does. And so for me to be like having these experiences where people are saying to me, oh, the Lord definitely brought you to me. And I'm like, I think he did, or she, or they.
Yeah.
I agree. And so like, I am having my own awakening. It is so powerful. It's so potent. And so there's an invitation also, I want to say, in terms of your own spiritual and emotional hygiene right now, what can you do? Like I turned on my phone this morning and the first thing that was in my face was something getting bombed. And I was like, wait, this is really not helpful for me out in the world to start my day with that image. And so I turned my phone, I put it down, and I was like, this is not, I get to choose. I'm in charge of what comes into my field for the most part.
I was like, I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, good.
So, but that's
Great.
But I
that's
feel
how
like
that's how well curated
it.
your algorithm is.
And like my like how I set up
Yes.
my like energy boundaries
Yes.
of only bring me things that'll be helpful, that I can do something
Yes.
about, or that is part of something bigger that I'm here to help with.
I mean, you guys are really, and Courtney and Katie for me are really bringing up so much awareness that I have never pretty much done energy boundaries in my life. And they invited me this past week where I was around a very large amount of people to do a little bit of energy work. It was like, I did like 2.2 grams of whatever they suggested. And like it opened up a space for me to have this incredible experience.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling a hunger and a thirst for more of what you guys, you both do it. It feels like very naturally, or you had to teach yourselves. I don't know. Like what I'm speaking about, for example, is they invited me, Courtney and Katie invited me. And for those of you who this sounds like gibberish to, that's okay. Let it into your spirit and soul. They invited me to ask Archangel Michael and Raphael to vacuum my whole energy field, and then to have Source Energy and Metatron seal it up.
Yeah, like to vacuum anything that is not resonant for your highest good, or like you just simply don't need it anymore. Because energetically, we don't really realize this, but like your field can hold on to things and patterns for a long time,
really long
and they're not often they're not in your conscious awareness at all. It happens it's non-linear, so a lot of times it doesn't make sense to the linear mind, or it might sound stupid. But we can have like so much stuff that we don't even think about anymore, but it's in our field, and it's impacting our lives, and we don't realize it until you clean shop. And then when you clean shop and you also disconnect any cords of attachments, like people can get attachment cords just honestly,
like just being out around
people, because and
it's also
and
it's
other
all
people,
like, it's like unconscious. It just
other people can non-consciously attach to you, or whatnot. So having it's not just about if you think something's bad, because like it's just about good energy hygiene in general. Obviously, it's like anything else, and honestly, it's I would say it would be synonymous to think about like actual hygiene. Like, how do we not like pass diseases? We wash our hands, right? Like, and when we wash our hands more regularly and we keep a clean house, you're less likely to have diseases. When you have sexual contact with people, you're encouraged to wear protection, right? And then we take those measures. But what happens is nobody takes the measures, or very few people take these measures on a daily basis. And they don't understand why things might not be going well in their life, why they might feel dragged down. They blame it on mental health. Maybe it is mental health, but I'll tell you what, a lot of times when you put up your energy boundaries, then you find out like how a lot of what you were feeling was actually an oversympathetic response to which you thought it was yours. You could even internalize it as yours. Then you could start judging yourself, right? Or it really equates to quite a big mess. And when we clean those up for ourselves and we instate, like we become the boss of our own field, first of all, it puts you in a state of empowerment. And secondly, it leaves room for alignment and synchronicity. And like it happens just like that, like with no effort. Literally no effort.
Like, I mean, it can happen like instantaneously, or within like a couple hours, or within the span of a day or two. And what happens is, once that boundary's up and you're aware of it, like you're conscious, like, okay, I set this energy boundary, you can then also invite in only the things that are for your highest good. And
this feels really important for right now.
I think it is really important. I think it's important in general, but especially now, just because there's so much like frenetic energy happening on the planet.
So much.
And there's so much static, and there's so much like dissonance.
TikTok's a good example of that. If anybody wants to look at our TikTok thread.
It just goes on and on. It's a bunch of cuckoo bananas world. But it's okay. We love you, TikTok.
So it's this idea that you get to decide what and who has access to you. Like, it's not a free-for-all. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to, and it doesn't mean that you should.
And just because somebody is nice doesn't mean they belong in your field either. Right. Like a lot of times there could be like somebody and they're just taking up space. Like they don't need to be there. And energetically too. Like I find that like when my energetic boundaries are set, it's a lot less work of having to be like say them or tell people them. Because it just will happen. It just happens. Like if you were like my field just about explodes people out. Like you will tell yourself.
You will tell on yourself.
You will tell on yourself when you're in my
field. Did you always know how to create that?
No, definitely not.
This is something, I mean, even in all the years that I've been doing this work, it's not something that I fully kind of understood until I didn't have anything else in my system that was putting up a boundary.
So only about like 5 years ago.
Like at the
I would say 7 for me.
Yeah, like 7, probably around 7 years.
I would say 7
like
for me too.
2016
Oh wow!
ish.
So you both were like, okay,
2017.
it's time for me to set some energetic boundaries because I want to care for myself in this. Like, how did you?
I think for me, it was when I just had like a huge growth spurt in all of my abilities, and also then getting trained with Reiki, that I became aware of it in the first place. And then when I became aware of it, I started to be like, well, if I am the boss of my own field, I can do this. And I started to like then set that, and I started to do what we told you. Like I do, I mean, we do it every day. I do it every session, every single day.
Every session,
every day, every person.
Wow.
Absolutely. Because, and let me tell you something, that is when I realized that how clear and balanced I felt, and how I was actually a really healthy person. I had grown up most of my life being told I was over emotional, or I had depression, or I had this, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, no, I actually just had horrific boundaries, and I had horrific energy boundaries. I didn't have them at all because nobody taught me them, but I was a very sensitive person because I was always, a medium for as long as I can remember. And I didn't realize until I set them what like the damage was.
Wow.
And I realized and I remember one day I was in a car with an old boyfriend of mine, and I suddenly got this like anxiety, and I started thinking it was mine at first, and then something paused me, and said, and it was my guides going, no, this isn't yours. And they said, ask him how he feels right now. And I said, hey, are you feeling like suddenly anxious? And he's like, actually, I am. And I was like, oh my God. So right away, I had put up the boundary to disconnect. Like I can share sympathy without being over sympathetic, meaning I'm taking it into my own body, right? Because when we're over sympathetic, and that's what happens with a lot of people that call themselves empaths, and I attract narcissists. Like it's a bunch of bullshit. You just don't have good energy boundaries. Yes, you're a sensitive person, but that's not why that's happening. It's because you have very poor energy hygiene. And listen, like I don't mean that in a mean way. That's just the honest to God truth. And I had to learn it the hard way too. So like I think that we do a lot of education, especially when we teach our Reiki Beyond the Matrix about energy boundaries, but it shifts people's lives.
It does.
Like even you can do it around your own thought forms. So like if you have a thought form that's like interrupting you, you can put an energy boundary up. It's any thought forms that are interruptive to your flow and to your field.
Like if you're in a loop and like you're a loop of fear or a loop of anxiety, you can. Okay.
Yeah. And especially like if you have like a specific pattern that you're aware of that tends to come up at certain times, if you have that awareness, what you can do is say, okay, I'm setting this energetic boundary that this is contained in this space, and it does not affect.
What do you contain it in?
I mean, for me, it's like the visual. I visualize it like encapsulated,
like in a pill. Like I'm picturing a pill. Like I'm. So
that you can do it that way. You can do it, like you can put it in a box. You can.
It's making my head hurt.
In a bubble. You can.
It's making my head hurt because this is a muscle that is not.
I think that you don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Like it literally just with the power of your word and your intention.
Yeah.
And people that are saying, oh, this is bullshit. Like, what do you know about quantum physics, idiot? Like, honestly.
Wait, she's talking. Like, she's talking to TikTok, you guys.
I'm talking to TikTok. It's just like
the people on
this is the reason that like. The planet needs to ascend. And there's so much information that's available for those of you that don't know me. I'm also a clinical specialist in integrative medicine, right?
Don't cast your
and in mind body. Well, no, what I'm saying for the collective.
Okay.
To understand that, and like it's just the amount of idiocy in the world today.
Yeah,
it aggravates me. And here's why. Because it's not just like you're dumb. It's like you're choosing to actually be ignorant. I actually think that most people are smart.
Yeah.
I think that most human beings,
Yeah.
and I have met human beings that don't have the highest IQ that are like the smartest people
Yes.
and the most loving people on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mean this in reference to an IQ.
No.
I mean it in like what benefit is that for you to practice absolute mindlessness? Like it just,
I will say that some people are not here to ascend.
some people are not here to ascend, but there's a bunch of people who are literally choosing to just
Yeah.
be idiots.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's on them. My energy boundary is go F yourself when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because
Katie and Courtney have more access to their
just-
anger. Oh, thanks, guys. Who is that, Miss Hockey? I don't even know who that is. I love you. Thank you.
It's just one of those things that, you know, it helps with the emotional, like, and emotional triggers and emotional
Yes.
reactions too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
You know?
I have.
And it's-
After you finish, I'll tell.
it's interesting to observe when you start to like play around with that. Like, just do it. Look at it as like an experiment. Like, I'm gonna try this for today and see what happens.
It's certainly not going to hurt anything.
No.
But you know what? You know what's crazy? Do you guys know that I was actually afraid of the dark until I was 40 years old?
Yes, I do.
You know that, right? I don't know if you knew that. I was genuinely
Because we're
afraid.
being visiting you.
Well, yeah. Ever since I was a child, I would
Yeah.
get terrors, and like I as a child, I could
Mhm.
see like I see you now. I can see now as well,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about like they were as
It's so
solid.
Oh,
They were
Nikki.
as solid as like anything else was, and a lot of that was like in the house I grew up in was haunted, and there was a lot of activity on that land in that house, and it was scary to me, and so
Mhm.
and I was like terrified.
Mhm.
So I grew up like with no instruction. I grew up, you know, being told I had an overactive imagination. And I grew up thinking I wasn't in charge. The only thing I could do was pray.
Mhm.
So if you pray hard enough, but then I think I must not be praying hard enough
Oh.
because I was still seeing these things.
Yeah.
So then I thought there was something wrong with my faith, right? Because I thought, oh no,
my
I'm not
God,
praying
so
hard enough.
terrible.
So I didn't feel in charge of my own field. And also with the Christian concept that like the devil's always trying to trick you and like Satan's trying to get you. And like, there's this like, there's a lot of nobody, actually, no, I don't want to say nobody talks about it. There's a couple of people that are starting to do really good work on religious trauma and the imprint of that. And like also like doomsday trauma and all that we grew up with, that it's like, oh my gosh, like I was really frightened, you know, like you're so afraid of these things and you don't know if you could get, you know, am I going to get possessed? Remember that was like, well, when we were little anyways, what all those Poltergeist was out
Such a
and all the
such a
Exorcist
scary movie. Oh, I didn't
and
watch
like all those movies were really big deal then.
Terrible.
And so then there
my
was
God.
It fed the idea that
fed
this is possible.
Jesus.
Yeah, it fed that idea. And okay, so like also that could be true, but if anybody had taught us about energy boundaries back then, like, you know, but why would they want to do that? That's empowerment versus a codependency, which the religious
I think that
places
was
tried
very
to-
on the down low, like energy boundaries back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was top
Yeah.
secret.
It was definitely top secret. And I feel like people are getting to learn this stuff if they want to.
Yeah.
And have more access to it. But yeah, no, I've always felt because I could, you know, I could feel things. And then that's when I turned off my sight. Like I literally turned off my sight. I think at a certain point when I was like a teenager, I turned it off. And then I was playing with kind of turning parts of it back on. So it was like a real road for me. But like now, like by the time I learned those energy boundaries, I was like, oh, I'm actually the most powerful person in the room. Like, and not that I'm not more powerful than her or her, but what I'm saying
of
is
your own space.
of my own space.
Yeah.
So actually, no, not just anything can overpower these things or get you. And even that interruptive thought process, I would, if anybody has that still, cut cords with it. Yeah. Say, this has to leave my field now, and it is no longer allowed back in.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Right?
Yeah.
So
I've never done anything like that.
It's really powerful. And like even the way that money flows in and your alignment with like your manifestations, your money, people, places, things, you'd be surprised what the hell's taking up old space.
Yeah.
That isn't like, if you think like, why am I not moving on? I still feel stuck. It's probably because your field's gunked up.
Yeah.
And like, it literally, all you have to do is state it.
Yeah.
It's really not hard.
And
I wouldn't make it hard.
Yeah, it's really not. And again, intention, if visualizing things is helpful for you, that is also something you can add in.
Yeah.
Not everybody works that way, you know, and even sometimes saying it out loud. Yes, you can say it in your head, but saying it out loud can also add to the empowerment piece.
Yeah, I like
hearing it in your own voice.
I like speaking it out loud. Like if I'm listening to a meditation or an invitation to make affirmations, I do like slow it down so I can repeat whatever the affirmation is, so I can vibrate it out into the world.
Yeah.
But it feels like the work that you guys are inviting in, that I'm now feeling like, oh, now I understand the reason. I'm like, it's like I'm at some sort of new grade in school, and I'm like, I'm ready to take in this lesson, which I just simply was not ready. I hadn't learned enough about the foundations yet to know that this.
Wait, Natalie, you said on the text, you said, okay, I'm going to do it later. And I said to you, no, you're not.
Right. You're going to do it right now.
You're going to do it right now. I mommed you.
She's so bossy.
She did.
She's so bossy. Very few people can boss me around. I sort of listen to you because I usually do whatever the H I want, but I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
But you also know it's because the place that she's coming from is
one of
like genuine.
Yes, I know that.
Care.
I know, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it
so
doesn't,
she's saying the words, and then you can just visualize what my face looks like.
I know. So it's really. Yeah, something happened actually after I'll tell this story on here because this is really moving. I was at this giant conference this week I'm also help people with financial planning in addition, and I bring astrology into the financial appointments. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
And it's
really
free. It's free to sit with me in the United States and Canada. We work in the United States and Canada. I know TikTok, you're like everywhere, and who knows where you are, like Albania. So I'm at this conference. There's 40,000 people. I'm like, because I feel everyone's energy. I did no energy boundary work at all. Zero.
And we had no idea.
Oh. Oh my God. And so listen, oh, that's nice, Kat. Thank you so much. She said, I enjoy the fluidness and kindness in which you speak to each other. It's cool. Oh, that's so we love each other so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're soul sisters. So I'm there and I'm like, and Courtney and Katie are like, well, it might be helpful for you to do a little bit of energy work. Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love. I found my future partner. And they're like, whoa, hold on there, Missy. Rein it back in. And I was like, don't rain on my parade. But then I was like, all right, I'll try it later. And Courtney says, no, you're going to do it now. Do some energy work now. So I do a little bit. I like envision Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael coming, and I pictured them vacuuming off all this, like, you know, when you clean a filter of an air conditioner, I pictured them vacuuming that off me. I didn't know what it was, but, and then I invited.
It was fake love dust. It was clogging up your filters.
Your dusty ass.
Dusty ass.
It was dusty. And my dusty vagina. And so then
the cobwebs were being...
So then I invited in Source Energy and Archangel Metatron to fill my energy field with really the highest vibration energy and seal it up so that nothing that is not welcome can enter. Did I say that correctly?
Like nothing that's not, if it's anything that's incongruent with the love frequency and authenticity frequency and your absolute most benevolent outcomes is not allowed in. And that you would also be magnetizing those things that are allowed.
Oh my gosh, wait, you guys. So after I did that, I went and asked this person, would you go on a date with me? And they were like, no. They said no because I did the energy work. Because they actually said to me, I would not be a good partner for you. I would be a terrible partner and I would hurt you.
See how they tell on themselves? Ding dong.
I mean, they were like, I am much better as a friend. And I was like, okay. And then, but oh my God, I didn't put that together until just now.
They told on themselves.
Yeah, they did.
Because when you set your field at a certain frequency, nothing that is not that frequency can exist in the same space.
Whoa. Wow.
And because you say it's for your highest good, you know that even if it's disappointing, even if something's disappointing that happens, you can trust that it is actually for your highest good. And that it's also because there's something better that resonates more with who you are that's coming.
Yeah. Kat is asking, is this a space and conversation predicted upon a religion or specific teaching? No.
I mean, as far as energy work, you'd be looking at it from a perspective of like Reiki,
like Reiki, like metaphysical,
astrology, the planetary conversation,
but also like we do mind body. I do
predicated. Got it.
So more like integrated, like from an integrated perspective. I think that this is something that is foundational.
Because we also,
it's like it can encompass everything. The way we like.
So like for mind body medicine, like, so we're all intuitives, but we also have our own expertise areas. So like for me, I'm in integrative medicine and mind body medicine. And so I bring that to the table in terms of like understanding consciousness and understanding trauma and understanding like how these things, and like Katie brings a whole bunch of things as far as being a yoga like you're a Reiki master teacher,
a frequency
teacher, a sound healer. She's I always get the yoga
super
thing
duper incredible medium.
I'm like 500. Why?
They both also are medical intuitive. So they Katie can see things and Courtney can as well. And Courtney has, because she's also almost in my mind a doctor, she can also use the medical language to help you. So if you are having a medical issue, like Katie might be like, oh, I can see something's going on. And then she might be like, oh, why don't you go see what Courtney says? So Courtney can actually like bring up the exact organ.
Or go to your doctor.
Or go to your doctor. Like, so yeah, it's really, Miss EG is asking, can we go over protection statements again? Like that's what I'm so hungry for.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I can't find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I want it.
I guess this is what's important.
What I think I'm going to do is actually create like a guided meditation for this.
Okay. And then attach it to
so
where?
Cool, Kat.
That I can make available, that I can make available.
Kat said this is life-changing.
Oh.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it really actually is. It's so helpful.
Yeah.
And it's this simple little tweak that it literally changes your life.
Yeah, it does.
And we speak that from experiencing it. And it allows you to embody your own light and your own essence. And it won't have to happen too fast. Like the boundaries are set, but the way that you then unfold into your own true authenticity and the way that old stories might get let go of or thought forms change, like that no longer serve you, like things coming clear. It's really about becoming that clear channel.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. Like sometimes it's also disappointing. I want to just like hop on that as well, is that you have to prepare to find out who people really are.
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
It might hurt my heart.
But it saves you so much time.
It totally does.
It saves it's so efficient.
The psych ward again.
It saves the psych ward.
It saves me going into the psych ward again.
It does, right?
But it does.
It's like in the moment.
Yeah.
Like
I've gotten really upset, and like also people can shift in their resonance. So there can be a time that somebody is resonant with you, with that vibration, and then if they shift, say people all the time, people take double down backwards and bad patterns, and they get sucked into crap and
like comfort zone
and
you know,
and all of a sudden they'll normally act out in a certain way, again telling on themselves, or there'll be something that'll come to light. And I know for me, like, I don't want that. Like, it hurts my heart because I'll see the best in most everybody. I think we've talked about this before. If I don't see the best in you, like, you're probably like a real big piece of shit.
She's not wrong.
So
Courtney, also Kat said that she went to see you and you helped her know that her LDL numbers weren't right and she's taking action. And she said, "Thank you, Courtney."
This
is one of Courtney's clients is on Instagram and took action based on what Courtney saw with her human MRI machine. And is healing. It's incredible.
It's really, I'll tell you, there's this whole thing that happens in medicine. So if anybody's in healthcare on here and they're an intuitive person and you need to hear, like, my gosh, a lot of people, like, they actually come up to me and they're like, how did you get so brave? How did you bridge the two? Oh my God. And there is this huge imprint in medicine that if you do anything like this, it's dangerous and you're a witch doctor and it's very dangerous. And for the longest time I bought into that. And so I wouldn't even turn this part on.
When you were in that.
And you wouldn't turn yours on for a minute or you wouldn't say you're medical intuitive because you were afraid you didn't know enough.
Oh yeah.
So it was like two kind of like the polar opposites in that way. And I had this conversation with somebody else and I was like, medicine's a goddamn crapshoot. Like we don't know, first of all, even for women, because most of the things that are studied medication wise have been studied on men and we don't have the same chemistry. So it's kind of like, I'm trained as and by the way, I'm an advanced practice nurse, not a doctor. But I will be going for my doctorate later. But anyway, but the thing is, this is like it's actually like you're trained in these universities to give medicine from afar. You're not trained for root cause unless you're functional med doc. Or sometimes a chiropractic doctor. Some DOs, there's a little bit more leeway there, but there's different like theories and stuff in medicine. So you have to understand that the way that things are trained, it's also a crapshoot, which is why a lot of people, and you're only trained in like, this is the policy and here's the insurance and this is what you have to say. And if you don't meet this criteria, you're going to told you're fine. And if your labs don't meet the criteria on the 1930s labs are still doing and standardized medicine, they're going to tell you that you're fine. No, seriously. So they're going to give you a comprehensive metabolic panel and they're going to run maybe a basic thyroid panel, basic. Okay. And they're not going to look at anything else. And when you feel like shit, they're going to still tell you like, well, I don't know. Do you want a psych med or maybe you're having anxiety or maybe it's this, and they're just going to start throwing things on you. What's that? How's that not dangerous? And so coming into like doing integrative medicine, which I do, I don't mind pharmaceutical, but I do, my focus is all non-pharmaceutical. And combining my energy work with my actual medicine, like my trained clinical specialist with I have precision point intuition. I wouldn't even be messing around with
Aquarius. That's the precision.
And so does Katie. And I won't ever do it differently. Like I actually see people get better in a session or two. I've saved more lives doing this way. And I don't care if it's weird. If it works, that's what I want to know. Does it work? Is what I'm doing effective? And so I'm going to do the weird thing if the weird thing fucking works. Excuse me for my
this.
Right?
So like I was at this conference where I definitely stood out. No one else had, and Kat also said she's really loving the way we treat each other with so much respect. And she said it's really nice to see. So I also want to thank you, Kat, for that. And Kat, if you're not following me and Courtney and Katie on TikTok or Instagram, or please, reach out. We all work with clients as well. And I want to say I love that Kat reflected that, because it's really a beautiful high vibration in terms of astrology, you guys.
Yeah.
Courtney's and Katie's and my charts really make this beautiful. You're also feeling a gorgeous grand trine. So Katie's and my moons are conjunct in Cancer at about 17, 18 degrees of Cancer. Courtney's moon Uranus is at 16 degrees of Scorpio. So those are two water signs making immediately all our moons all make a trine. And then my sun Mercury is at 15 degrees of Pisces, completing the triangle. So we have this beautiful triangle that is equilateral between the three of us. And you also are feeling that it's like, I don't know if the pyramid is not equilateral, but like, oh, there was Egypt just came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it. And yeah, this is what happened.
Wait, this is what happened because we're always talking to each other. Like, wait, I do know you guys wanted, Egypt was coming up, and I wonder if you would be open to why.
Well, I honestly think it's connecting into the astrology too.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way that things are lining up astrologically right now. It's the energy of like the old ancestral knowledge is like awakening again. And because the frequency of the planet is shifting into like a higher consciousness, that stabilizes the frequency for information to start to come out. And I mean, there's like a gazillion conspiracy theories about all the things. Like we could delve into that. That's like 4 weeks worth of shows there to do that. But you know, there has been like proven scientific studies that have found that there's certain, like the way that the pyramids are built, they actually have been able to measure like a hertz that they give off.
Oh.
Because the study was based around like, why have these survived all of these thousands of years of earthquakes and natural disasters and like all of these things. And they found that the way that the hertz is between like the planetary like vibration and the way the hertz of the pyramids actually vibrate, it stabilizes them.
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So
have you heard that they have discovered a whole
like
coil underneath? I don't know. Those of you who are watching this, they're underneath the pyramids. They're just the top of these incredible coils.
Yes, they're coils, and they go down go down further than they actually have realized.
Yes, they can't. They can't measure
They can't actually measure it, but they know that it's there because they've been using, you know, the technology that we have available now.
Yeah.
You know, so there's certain places on the planet that are like power centers. Egypt is one of those places. And it's interesting because for me, I am not even slightly drawn to Egypt at all. I have zero desire to go there, zero desire to visit. I think it's fascinating from afar. But there's other places on the planet that I was like, like Hawaii. So Maui specifically is another one of those power places. And for me, I am so drawn there, I can't not go. But there's certain people who resonate with those frequencies of these power places on the planet.
Yeah.
So it's something for people to just think about too. Like if there is somewhere that you feel really drawn towards and you don't know why, you know, sit with that for a little bit. And the really cool thing about like the quantum piece that we have been talking about lately too is that you can travel there just with your intention.
Right.
You know, and when you do that, and again, energy boundaries, protecting your space, traveling in the space, you are actually magnetizing your personal frequency to that place when you do that. And what ends up happening is the way to get there physically will manifest in your field.
Oh.
That's very cool.
And I also do think that there's going to be more invitation for us to travel, to astral travel. Like, oh my gosh.
This is also why you need energy boundaries, because the astral realm's like TikTok.
Oh.
Wait, okay,
so another part of the story of my doing the energetic hygiene and perhaps releasing limiting beliefs that I've been walking around with was I sat next to a man on the plane from Vegas back to Philadelphia, and he was someone that I had immediately assumed like I would not have anything in common with. Absolutely. I don't want to talk to him. I immediately thought this is a straight white Christian man and I'm going to not want to talk to him. And he was very friendly to me. And I was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. So I put on my eye patch and I put my earplugs in and I fell asleep. Then I woke up. That's my go-to. That's my go-to escape as a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wake up, we get off the plane, and we're like, bye. And then 10 minutes later, he appears in my field again. And I'm like, oh, hi. And so again, I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, hey, great to see you. And then he's like, have a great day. And then again, walking somewhere else in the airport completely. There he is again. Hi. And then I'm getting my coffee at Caribou Coffee, like having my quiet time. And he's like, there really must be a reason that I'm supposed to talk to you because I'm with you again. And I was like, okay, I effing surrender. Okay, let's talk. So he shares, I'm not going to share it on here, but he shares so vulnerably with me. We both have the moon at a 360 degrees. He let me do his chart. He's Christian, like hardcore, but let me do his chart, changing my perception of what Christianity can look like. Because I always assume that I am going to get totally like damned to hell by people by doing astrology, even though, and then he tells me that Jesus is consulting astrologers. And I'm like, this is a hardcore Christian man. And I was like, oh my God, I'm breaking my brain open. Then he tells me, oh, I just learned that I can travel outside my body. I'm reading a book about it. That's what he said. I was like, listen, goosebumps all over. We like hugged. We said, I love you. We're friends on Facebook and Instagram. My heart got bloomed open by this person. And I don't know that I would have been able to do that without having released the dust that was clogging my ability to stay open to a true, genuine person who literally wants to create harmony and peace.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do.
It helps you get out of your own way.
Oh my God.
Like there's so much that you would normally, like that's what Katie and I talk about with like being clear channels for mediumship is like, no matter what we think or believe, when we go into a reading, we have to, it goes to the side because you're only going to see what you know. So because your brain will just look for those things instead of seeing the whole picture. So you just open up to like seeing, you know, it has to be aligned with those things that we talked about, like the love frequency and the authenticity, this person's highest good. But you open to that and you're just like, oh my, like you meet beings that you thought were sci-fi. You meet like the saints are real guys, the angels, but they're also not anything what you think they are. And they're also amazing. And like you learn things like I know it's going to be really controversial, so I won't get too into it. But I had a lot of big judgments about abortion. And when I had been asked several times to speak to babies who were aborted, the moms had really, it was like 30 years later, and they were still so heavy in their heart. And so I was like, really, I got nervous and I was like, stop it, Courtney. Like, there's nothing to be nervous about except hearing the truth. And you're going to go in and you're going to say what you hear.
You were having a limiting belief, your own self, about doing that.
Yeah, like what if I didn't want that to crowd. So then I was like, well, you're not going to let it crowd. You're going to put it to the damn side. And you're going to put all your opinions to the side and you're simply going to talk to this beautiful soul that was once in this woman's body. Right. And so 3 different readings I did, and even one woman who had 2 different abortions. Oh my God! The baby came through just fine. They're
very, very highly evolved souls.
Oh my gosh, they're so evolved.
And jumping on that, I just had this conversation with a client 2 days ago.
Oh my God!
But anyway, it's one of those things where a lot of times when soul contracts are formed, they know that they're not actually going to incarnate. They know that that's not actually going to happen.
Yeah, it's a soul contract.
So it's that soul contract, that's this agreement. Like, hey, you're going to have this, this experience, and I'm going to help you with this because it's for you to maybe find out that there was like a health issue that was happening. Or,
oh my God.
Or, maybe it's because you get to make a decision for yourself for the first time ever in your whole life and lifetimes across lifetimes. you know,
that and yeah,
they really, there is no, I mean, and they
Okay.
also tell me that, I don't know if this was true for you too, but I mean, consistently over the years, they say that they're not, the soul actually isn't like fully in the body until right before that baby's born. So it's attached.
I agree with that.
So that's how they like the soul is there. But
I think
it's
it
not
depends.
I mean, but
Okay.
like when it's
I've seen it actually go both ways.
Okay.
So a lot of times in the cases that I did, again, this is why you have to know that every case is different.
It's different.
So if we locked onto, it's going to be like this every case.
Right.
I couldn't even see the other few cases that I did at that time. I've done more since then, but at that time that I did, like I've also spoken to babies that were miscarried.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Do the parents come in and say specifically, I'm wondering if you're able to connect with this being that
in the case of that I worked with them, they did ask me specifically.
Okay.
See, and for me, it's not usually that. It will usually come in as, hey, you know, is there a child who's on the other side?
Yeah, right.
You know, or is, you know, this could mean a child that, you know, was miscarried or that didn't make it into their incarnation. And always, it's never not.
Yeah. And
Kat will write our information under this post on Courtney's page, so you can follow me and Katie on TikTok as well. That's how you'll be able to follow us. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for asking. We appreciate you.
You know, but I mean, again, we're shifting out of like this dogmatic positioning, like this is right and this is wrong and this is the only way and this is not the only way. And there's more openness that is starting to come into collective consciousness.
Yes. There's such a big awakening happening. Yes.
And I think that, you know, the things that we're guided to talk about when we do this, it's because there are, you know, there's probably people who are watching that's going to resonate with, or that's going to act as like maybe a little bit of peacefulness can come to someone from hearing.
Yes.
Remember when you're in our sessions with us, we open these with Reiki for all of you to be receiving.
Yes, people are. We're getting a lot of reflections today of
when you're on here, so you may also be feeling that resonance of source energy.
Yes, they are,
and we specifically put our boundaries that it would align with your hearts. Even the wacko people on some of the wackos that come on TikTok, like what I think is maybe there was something that needed to wake up in their field and they're not conscious of it yet. But they had like a moment of a taste of it. It doesn't need to be conscious. That's the thing. I think everybody thinks that like, well, I would know.
I have to know. I have to figure it out.
And that's not true. And so like absolutely. So like there are so many things that I guess like that then opened my eyes to like, I don't know. I feel like my mediumship has actually helped me to be less judgmental, and then in other ways less tolerant.
Same.
So there's certain things that I become way more compassionate about and way more less judgmental, and then there are other ways where I have become absolutely like I'm not having tolerance for this.
Right. No. Yeah, right. No, Kat's saying you are all such different energies, yet y'all work together. It's so fascinating. It's true.
It is true.
It really is.
It's helpful, but that's just a good example of like how just because you're a little bit different, like I find that we balance each other.
Oh my God, it's so great.
You guys will bring in a perspective for me that I don't not necessarily have access to. And I'll be like, okay, but because I respect them and love them so much, I can actually listen. And so I'll be like,
that's taken time to develop, I think, between the three. Like, I don't know that you would have listened to me the first time you met me.
I mean, maybe not, because the first time I met you, we were in COVID. And I was just like, what is this woman doing eating online? But I couldn't not watch you.
Right.
And I kept going back. And I was like, what? This is ridiculous. And
well, you scared me. I was like so intimidated by her. And shout out to Colleen Cafferty.
Oh my God. Thank you, Colleen.
My hair person.
Oh my God.
But she's like, I think you should follow this woman, Natalie. You would love her. And I was watching her videos that she posted about being like, like a dog with a bone trying to get play dates for her child.
Oh my God.
And I was
I invite you to
I invite you to tell me.
boundary.
Right.
I'm gonna spit my water out.
And I was like,
Remember this one?
yes, I was like, oh my God. And you will say, like, I invite you to set a boundary. And now we feel like, because I don't have any.
It's true. Finish the sentence. This is correct. Oh my God. Right.
But I was like, oh my God, like, this is wow. I like love her. And also, like, I'm a little intimidated by her because she really is, like, intense with this.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And even at that moment, like, I'm watching those first, like, videos that I saw of you, part of me knew that we were going to be doing something together.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm going to have to get past being intimidated by this, like, amazing human.
I was
But-
so impressed. Katie was like, do you want to go get coffee and meet in
Yes.
person? I was like, wow.
And I don't do that.
I know.
ever.
I know.
And you don't
We
do
did
that.
it
I don't do
too.
that either.
We did it too.
They went on like a blind date.
Yes,
They had not even met yet. They were like, do you want to be friends? And they go and they're like, and Courtney's like, God sent me a friend. And like they're BFF like sisters. And now we are 3 sisters. And it happened when my actual blood sister died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is when you guys came into my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Brenda.
Shout out to Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
For work. She just went
She-
for orchestrating.
Seriously.
She's very proud of the job.
She
she's
did a
doing.
great job.
I feel like when the world shut down though too is when I called them in. I called
Yeah.
you guys in like right
Oh.
after
Mm.
that. Like I
Mhm.
feel like I met my people.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know?
Mhm. I feel
Because
that too.
even I met Mitch during COVID.
Oh my God. It's
And I will say
true.
too, like COVID was the first
Mm.
collective
Mm.
conscious awareness of the timeline shift.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Everybody knew because you could not know.
Yes. But
But it's also why that time feels hazy
Yeah.
and
God.
like you can't access it all
I
the way
hate-
yes.
because it
Yes.
was like I remember in the beginning of when COVID happened and the shutdowns happened, I would actually see like this weird, it almost looked like a iridescent kind of waterfall-y kind of energy, like shimmery off to the side of me.
Mm.
And it would happen and I'd look and obviously there's nothing there. So at that point, you know, I'm doing what I do.
Mhm.
And I asked my guides, I was like, what is that?
Mm.
And they said, you're seeing where the dimensions split.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh shit. Yes, I actually am. But I'll tell you,
Oh my
having that
God.
happen,
Yeah.
and you know, 2020 was kind of a catalyst, pivotal moment for a lot of people.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, and I will say, I feel like this is important to say too, because I'm getting kind of like that messaging. And
Mhm.
when a large group of people pass away together,
Oh, yeah.
that is also a soul contract.
Yes.
That is a
Yes.
collective
Yes.
soul contract.
Yes.
That, and it happens a lot. Like
Mhm.
you have like natural disasters where
9/11.
9/11,
Oh my God.
huge amounts of people pass away together. And what happens
Mhm.
is when
Mhm.
people become united
Mhm.
at that time.
Mhm.
But because the collective consciousness for all those other times wasn't in a place that it could sustain that unity,
Mhm.
everything
Mhm.
kind of fell back into like the way it used to be before that happened.
Wow.
And COVID, it was almost like, okay, this is it. Like
You're not
now
going
it's
back.
now or never, you know,
Yeah.
and we're gonna make this so you can't go back.
Do you know that?
know,
Do you know
and-
that historically, biologically speaking, when they study viruses are actually designed to upgrade DNA.
Mm.
Yeah.
So viruses
Mhm.
do come in, and when there's like a mass virus like that,
Oh.
like that's really one of the first times. Like, well, okay, we've had
we won't
viruses
discount
around.
the fuckery around that either.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
not gonna discount
We
that.
won't, but at the same time, here's the deal, right? Like, growth hurts. Like that's sometimes when things are falling together, it can look like they're falling apart.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's
Right.
hard to tell the
How's that?
difference. And what they were just saying, and when I went, because when you were saying that, I just realized they were talking to me about the collective North Node going into
Oh, yeah.
Aquarius this
Oh
month.
yeah.
And then you were saying that, and all of a sudden they were like, because it was time, like that was the beginning of prepping the planet to get out of the box, because they had to start doing things differently, thinking differently.
Yeah.
And if you ever noticed, and sometimes we feel, maybe some of us might feel still upset about it, is like the world really never went back. We thought we were all gonna just go back to the same after COVID, but it really didn't. Like stores didn't. The way businesses ran changed. The hours changed. The way a lot of things.
The way that society structured changed. Because it had to. Because it couldn't be sustained the way that it was. And guess what? A lot of people figured out what was most important to them during that time. And a lot of people had an awakening during that time. Like a shift of, oh my God, you know, like I have time to spend with my family right now. And oh my God, I didn't realize what I was missing out on. And the planet too. Like the planet needed a reset from all of us. You know? So I think that we're far enough out at this point that having a perspective where we can see it a little bit more broadly is accessible. So it's just food for thought. It's things to kind of think about and see how it lands for you. And it might not, and that's okay too. You know
really
what?
We're over. Okay. I was gonna say something about like but it's all right.
What?
I know. No, it's
this
just
is so good. Like this is so stimulating and amazing.
That it went that fast.
I know Kat was like, oh, I like that you pulled some fidget toys out when to regulate yourself.
Crystal,
and I did.
Yeah.
all the tools.
No, I was just thinking about, and like a couple of star beings are like over here and they've been
really?
breathing. Yeah.
Wait. I'm sweating.
Oh my
Did you see that,
God.
like,
there's star beings here, you guys. There's star beings here.
Well, again, it's
they are always.
Yeah, but that shift, that dimensional shift, opened the space up for them to be able to come in more tangibly than they.
So they are a lot more tangible, and that's what I was going to say. Is that, you know, as we are the world of quantum physics, quantum computing, the future is here, and with that, that's also changing the way that we understand energy in the world and our consciousness. They're actually able to now measure certain consciousness, but now we're becoming aware that, oh, gee, there really is other life, and that life is also here. I mean, for those who don't know, Harvard did a study called the Galileo Project, and this is true. And they published in a journal to say, oh no, the aliens are already here. They're among us. And you know, just so you guys know, they've been what the government is doing is they're trying to ease. They're not trying to hide it from everybody. Some of it maybe, but for the most part, they're trying to ease the planet into this so that there's not a mass freak out, because people, you know, could go crazy and have, like radical shifts that they're not ready for consciously. But on the positive note, what I want to say is when we are in contact and they're in contact with us, then our consciousness expands even more, because now it's not just, okay, what planet am I on? What galaxy? Now there's galaxies among galaxies and life forms amongst life forms. And it shifts this infinite way of being and thinking. And no, they're not just ahead of us and we're not lower than them.
No.
We're all learning from each other.
Yes.
You know, yes, they do have, some of them do definitely have technologies that we don't. And that's in a way that they can assist us. And we also have things that they don't. So we're really learning. What are they saying?
No, they're just like individuality. Because a lot of their consciousness is, I know, yes. Exactly.
I'm like,
yes.
I was like, you're a big one.
Like the Jason Momoa version of Aquaman.
You're a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. You just want no, but it's
I'm gonna have to send I think he showed up on a card for me. I'm gonna send you a picture later.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure that he did.
Yep.
Yeah. But it just, you know, we have this individuality and we have boundaries, and some of these races don't have boundaries. And they don't understand what that is. So if you're feeling like a certain kind of way or about like experiences that you're having, again, plug into that energy boundary. Hey, this is not okay. Hey, take like 5 steps back because this is too intense for me. Like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to use your voice to, and this is not just with like interdimensional stuff. This is also with like 3D stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and stating what your boundaries are. And I think that it's coming right back around to the boundary piece of it, because that is the most important thing I think that we talked about today was, you know, clearing out your space and just setting the intention for it, you know, and however that looks for you. So.
Yeah. And that's the other where it's true too, is like always, I feel like even now, like this being, I've never seen these kind of before. I mean, it almost looks sci-fi-ish to me.
I know.
Which you're like, oh, this is going to sound stupid for me to say, but he's standing right there. We're both saying the same thing. And the thing is, it's so cool though. It's so cool to meet some of these beings, and no, they're not, like, demonic shit is not allowed in our space.
Yeah.
We're not playing around with that. There's a lot of fuckery out in the quantum field, and that's why, because we do have access. Like, you might think, well, I don't know quantum. Well, honey, we're all being attuned to quantum at this point, because like all of the things are headed and working in that way, and even the science and just the technology and the way that humans are also blending with technologies in some way. We're going to have to learn how to work with it in a helpful way, because it could be destructive and it also could be really amazing. And even Aquarius is in charge of the technology, right? And with that coming onto the collective North Node, you're going to see, you think we've already seen jumps in technology? Whew, wait for it. In 2 years from now, we're going to feel like we're going to
look
20.
back and be like, bless our hearts.
Yeah, we are.
I feel like that every single day.
So, but you know, just remember, however you're unfolding, let yourself be there. You know, if you feel like you need to hold on, then feel what it feels like to hold on. If you can't let go of certain things, or it feels too scary, you get to unfold at your own pace, you know, and kind of mark how that might look. We're going to end. Oh,
So
went
thank
fast.
That was so great, you
We
guys.
missed you
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
Yeah,
I know.
Kat, if you're still on DM, message Courtney so that she can send you our handles, or,
All right,
or we'll put it
everybody.
under her recording. Okay.
All right.
Great job,
right,
everyone.
bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Love you. So good to see
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Wait,
Bye.
if I put it in here, could I text it?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Oh, I can't get it.
Just
pull it out.
Yeah, hold on.
I wonder if you can put it under the title or something.
I don't. How can you?
All right, this is
Oh my
still.
God, I'm terrible.
This is
Oh,
still
oops.
because it just.
Thank you, Fairy
How do
Goddess.
you-
I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
voice.
Please come back and subscribe to my channel. So we are on here
Do
every
you want to put
Monday.
your handle in? Oh, I
Thank
can't.
you.
Okay.
Let me end stream. We'll put the replay up.
I'll put it up on. I'll find a way to answer.
She said
on
she's
her
gonna.
later.